Hey, welcome to the Ready to Lose podcast, where we look at what's going on in our brains to create the health and weight loss that we want. My name's Billy Blake, and I'm a certified life and weight loss coach determined to help women love themselves all the way to their goal. It's time to start losing weight in a way that actually feels like us and creating that healthy life that we love showing up for every single day. So tell me, are you ready to lose? Let's go.
Picture this. You're having a crappy day, stressed as heck, overwhelmed with everything you've got to do. And suddenly, it's like every snack in your house is calling your name. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, okay, cool. I'm still stressed. And now I feel gross. I feel guilty. I feel like crap that I did that. Today, we're talking about why that happens and how to stop it from happening. Hey, ready babes, welcome back to the podcast where we are done with dieting and are learning to lose weight without restriction or deprivation, but instead by building real trust around food. We're talking about no more obsessing, no more overthinking, no more guilt and regret spirals that make everything worse. Side note, guilt spirals are literally a part of today's episode. You will see if you connect to the guilt spiral, you want to keep listening. And today we're talking about something that everyone experiences. Even if you think you're the only one, I'm telling you right now, everyone experiences this. And that is your overeating habit loop. Why you do it and how to actually break it. But before we get into the juicy parts, the how of breaking those overeating habits, last week we talked about how to tell the difference between emotional and physical hunger. And today we're talking about how to break that habit of continuing to eat when you're not hungry. But before we do that, I have to invite you to Hungry Girl Bootcamp because everything I'm about to teach you, we practice together inside this group. We're going to take the concepts and apply them in real life. So you're not just thinking, oh, that makes sense. You're actually doing it. And not just doing it, but doing it with that accountability and support. If you are someone who always says, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. Yeah, this group is for you. Because that was me too. Even after studying psychology, habits, motivation, behavior modification, all of it. Side note, before I found coaching and the thought work and habit work that I do now, past version of me, the version of me who was going to school for OT, didn't know what she was doing, she minored in psych. So part of me knew that I loved this stuff, even back then, even before I knew coaching was going to be in my future. So I really understood the theory, okay? I knew it. But learning is not the same as changing. And that is why this group exists. If you're ready for 2026 to finally be the year that you stop overeating, you belong with us. You want to get in there. Okay, so let's get into today's episode. Your overeating habit loop. What to do about it, how to change it. So I want to start with something foundational that I've said before, but everyone listening still needs to hear it right now. You're overeating, your bad food habits or eating too much or snacking on the same things all day, that is serving a purpose. It is not self-sabotage. It is not a flaw. It's not because you're lacking discipline. It is your brain trying to help you cope. It just picked the wrong way to do it because the way it's choosing right now is making you gain weight and you don't want to be doing that. It's adding to your stress possibly. But your brain and body really do want you to feel good. They want to relieve stress. They want you to escape discomfort. Again, they're just confused about the best way to do that. And I know how hard this might be to believe. I always thought my body was working against me. But starting to tell myself, to remind myself that my body is working with me, believing that we are on the same team, that we want the same things, that has truly changed everything for my health. It is worth it to start using this story. And if you take one thing from today, let it be that new thought. Your body and brain are working with you. They're just a little confused about how to do it. They want to work with you, but you also need to learn how to work with them too. So let's walk through what's actually happening when you overeat. First, there is a trigger, okay? Every habit loop, every overeating loop starts with a trigger. This can be literally anything though. Maybe you see something delicious in the break room. You walk by the kitchen at home. You had a rough day at work and you feel inadequate or underappreciated. You are bored out of your mind. You have nothing to do and food feels like the only fun thing. You're stressed about money, kids, work, your partner. You're lonely. You're overwhelmed. You're procrastinating something that you don't want to do. Or one of my personal favorites, you're thinking all day about how much you hate your job. And the second you get out of work, your brain is like, you know what I deserve after a long day of feeling stressed and frustrated? A peppermint mocha. Triggers can be obvious or subtle. Sometimes you know that you're upset, or sometimes you're just thinking, ooh, that looks good. And that in itself creates discomfort. Okay, so that's the first step. There's a trigger. The second thing that happens is that trigger creates a thought. This is the part that most people miss. You are having a thought that creates emotional discomfort. Maybe you're thinking, I deserve something. I need a break. That would make me feel better. Today sucked. I just want something to look forward to. I can't deal with this right now. Everyone else gets to eat whatever they want. Isn't that one always fun? I'm so stressed. Why bother? I'm bored. I have too much going on. Like we mentioned earlier, even that thought, oh my gosh, that looks amazing, that creates discomfort because you aren't currently eating the thing that you think sounds so good, looks so good. You aren't eating the thing you want, and your brain hates discomfort. Obviously, honestly relatable, right? Who loves discomfort? Nobody. So when you're in the discomfort, the third thing that happens is you eat to relieve the discomfort. This is where overeating happens. Again, not because you're broken, not because you're out of control. You don't just love food too much. You eat because your brain learned either as a child, it's also designed this way, that food is a quick, reliable way to feel better fast. It's a quick way to get out of any discomfort. And it does work for like 30 seconds. When you're eating those first few bites, you feel the relief, you escape whatever you're going through for a little bit. You get a break from your thoughts or whatever's going on right now. If your house is chaotic, your job is stressful, your marriage is tense, you're lonely, you're overwhelmed, whatever it is, food is the fastest way to feel anything other than what you're feeling right now. Because when you are eating food, you're not thinking about the stressful day you had at work. You're thinking, this is good. So you do get a break. Of course, your brain keeps choosing it. But that relief is temporary for two reasons. One, whatever you're feeling or whatever has upset you, I can tell you right now, it is never going to be fixed by a sweet treat. I know, especially with social media right now, I know that is a very common go-to answer. A sweet treat will make my whole life better, okay? And yes, I love those little memes and jokes, and I laugh too. But truly, as your friend, as your coach, I have to tell you that whatever is upsetting you, whatever is hard right now, it's not going to be fixed by the sweet treat. You get that peppermint mocha after work, but then by the evening, you're stressing about going to work the next day. You get to work the next day and you relive the entire thing. You're thinking the same thoughts about your work, you're having the same day, you feel inadequate all day. Basically, your job is still your job. Your thoughts about your job are still your thoughts about your job. And the mocha didn't change that. And then the second reason leads us to our fourth step of the loop. The next thing that happens is that relief fades. Like I said, it's very short-lived. And then guilt kicks in. And this is where we start spiraling. You feel bad about what you ate or how much you ate, or that you ate when you weren't hungry, or that you did this again after saying you never wanted to do this again, or that you ruined the day. You feel frustrated, ashamed, disappointed. Maybe you're mad at yourself. And guess what helps you escape that discomfort? Because all of those emotions suck. They'd feel really bad, right? So guess what you do? You eat more food. So now the loop becomes trigger, thought, discomfort, eat, relief, guilt, eat, relief, guilt. Playing that on repeat. I lived in that loop for years and I didn't even know it was a loop. I chalked it up to being out of control around food. I'm just too out of control with food. I just can't stop, okay? It was actually a habit loop that I was trapped in. I didn't realize that it was something I could break. So, how do you break the loop? Once you see it, once you see where you're doing this in your day, you can interrupt it at 3 places. And this is exactly what we're going to be practicing inside Hungry Girl Bootcamp. You can stop it before the eat, at the trigger, okay? This comes from knowing your patterns, your environments. Sometimes it's timing or emotional cues. When you learn how to reflect on your week, you can literally predict when these moments are going to happen. Then you can plan ahead and expect the discomfort and know that the urge is going to be to reach for the food, but you don't have to. The second place to interrupt it is during the discomfort. You learn to feel it without escaping, okay? I'm telling you, you won't feel uncomfortable forever. Most emotions And that urge to eat, it's very quick, it's very fast. So it doesn't have to be long, but you have to be willing to feel it long enough to pass. It's a skill that you can learn to do. The third place to interrupt it is after the eat, basically stopping that guilt spiral. Because guilt spirals lead directly into more overeating, and it even strengthens that habit loop for the future. It actually makes your habit stronger when you beat yourself up about it. So interrupting the shame cycle alone can cut your binging in half, your overeating in half. So maybe your loop happens when you walk in the door after work, or when the house gets quiet at night, when the kids finally go to bed, or when your partner snaps at you and you feel unappreciated, or when you're home alone and you're seeing how your friends are out having fun. You're just home feeling lonely. Or when you're bored and you want something fun to do. These are not flaws. They are just moments where you're experiencing a habit loop. And you can rewire this. So if you're listening right now thinking, that's literally me. I know I'm doing this. I can see it now. I just don't know how to stop doing it. Then Hungry Girl Bootcamp is exactly where you need to be. For 8 weeks, we are focusing only on overeating. We're not doing the meal plan, not perfection, not tracking everything, not extreme workouts, just learning how to hear your true physical hunger, how to stop before you're full, how to identify emotional cravings, how to sit through them without spiraling, how to stop the guilt, eat cycle, how to feel in control around food, how to trust your body maybe for the first time ever. We're doing that with coaching, with accountability, with support and practice. Not just learning, not just listening and knowing that's what I should be doing. Yes, I understand it. Why am I not doing it? You're going to be doing it. You're going to be doing it in real time with me coaching you through it. We start January 7th, so click the link in the show notes and join us. If you want to stop overeating in 2026, this is where you want to be. So until next week, remember, you've totally got this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!
Thank you for taking time today to listen in. If this helped you at all, be sure to share it with a friend so she can stop feeling stuck and start creating the health and self-love she deserves. Or post it to social media and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me get the message out. I am so excited to be on this journey with you. Keep showing up for you. You'll get there. Talk to you soon.